everyone, if you're a small business owner, you know the dream is growth, right? But here's the real question. How do you build a business that doesn't just grow, but actually lasts? Well, today, we're going to break down a framework that's all about doing exactly that.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Ambition, that's the easy part. That's the spark. But it's not enough to keep the whole thing going, you know? Every single entrepreneur feels this gap between having a fantastic idea and actually building a company that can weather any storm. Okay, so let's talk about that challenge. When you start out, it's all about the vision, the big idea. But then you start to grow, and suddenly, things get complicated. You're hitting walls you didn't even know existed, and that fire you had at the beginning, it starts to feel like it's getting buried under just the daily grind.
Look, there's nothing more rewarding than building your own thing. We all know that. But as you get more successful, a whole new layer of challenges pops up. Suddenly, it's all about cash flow, legal stuff, finding the right people. It's this crazy juggling act, and honestly, it can get pretty overwhelming.
So, what if you didn't have to go it alone? What if you had a partner in your corner? That's where something like a foundational partner comes into play. And today, we're going to look at the model they use at the Small Business Financial Center. Let's call it the SBFC for short.
Yeah, and don't think of the SBFC as just some company selling you services. It's more like they become part of your crew, you know? Their whole goal isn't to just push a product, it's to give you the actual tools you need to build that solid foundation. That way you can grow without constantly looking over your shoulder.
All right, so how does it actually work? Well, it's all built on 4 key pillars. Each one tackles a super critical part of your business. You can basically think of it as the ultimate toolkit for building a business that's built to last.
Okay, pillar number 1, and trust me, this is a huge one, business credit development. So many business owners, especially when they're starting out, kind of mix their personal and business money together, but that can create some serious risks and really slam doors on opportunities later on.
What we're talking about here is building a financial firewall. It's simple, really. If you keep your finances separate, that car loan you got for yourself won't mess with your chances of getting a business loan for that new piece of gear you desperately need. It's all about building that credibility that gets you better deals with suppliers and helps you land those bigger contracts.
All right, that leads us right into the second pillar, access to business funding. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? To grow, you need fuel. And in business, that fuel is cash. The problem is, finding the right kind of funding, man, it can feel like you're lost in a maze.
And the key word here is strategic. There's a world of difference between just taking any money you can get and finding strategic money. The wrong loan, it can absolutely crush your cash flow, even while you're growing. A real partner helps you find the funding that actually fits your long-term plan, not just patching a hole for today.
Now for pillar number 3, this is your shield. It's legal and compliance support. And let's be honest, this is the stuff a lot of us ignore until it's a huge problem. But this is the pillar that protects every single thing you're working so hard to build. I mean, just think about it for a second. One contract with some bad wording or a simple mistake like calling an employee a contractor when they're not, that kind of thing can totally wreck your business. Having someone you can afford to call for legal advice means you can sign deals and bring on new people without that constant worry. You just know you're covered. And that brings us to our 4th and final pillar. And this one is so important if you want to scale up. Employee benefit solutions. It's a cliche, but it's true. Your business is only as good as your team. And right now, the fight to attract and keep the best people is absolutely brutal.
A lot of small businesses just see benefits as another cost, another line item on the expense report. But you gotta reframe that. It is one of the best investments you can possibly make. It's not just about making people loyal, it's about slashing the insane cost of having to hire and train new people all the time. It's about building a place where your rock stars actually want to stick around and help you win. So you see how these 4 pillars all connect? They're not just a random list of services. They all point back to one central idea, one core philosophy. You just can't have real sustainable growth if you don't have solid protection in place.
It's so simple, but it's so powerful. Think about it. Trying to scale up, more sales, more operations, without making your legal and financial foundation stronger, it's like trying to build a skyscraper on sand. It's not a question of if it'll crumble, but when.
So here's the perfect way to look at it. Growth, that's your engine. That's the gas pedal. It's what creates momentum and builds your wealth. But protection, that's the frame, the steering, the brakes. It's what keeps that momentum from sending you flying off a cliff. It protects what you've built and secures the very future you're grinding for. You absolutely cannot have one without the other.
Okay, so after hearing all that, you're probably starting to think, where does my business stand in all this? Well, the good news is there's a really straightforward way to figure that out.
It's super simple, just 2 steps. Step 1 is just to reach out. Step 2, you get a totally free business review and consultation. They'll take a look under the hood, see how your foundation is looking, and point out where you can get stronger.
And here's the info you need to get in touch. Seriously, just an email or a quick phone call. That's all it takes to get the ball rolling and have an expert set of eyes look at what you've built.
So, that really leaves us with one last big question you have to ask yourself. Is your business built for growth and for protection? It's not just about how fast you can go, it's about how solid you are. Are you truly ready for both? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for listening.